In today's fast-changing business landscape, staying ahead of the curve is more important than ever. But how can companies ensure their employees have the skills they need to thrive? And how can employees take charge of their own growth? Today, we're joined by a business and education leader who will help us navigate the world of upskilling and reskilling. Let's welcome Raghu Krishnaiah, Chief Operating Officer at University of Phoenix. Hello, Raghu. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, so I understand there's some exciting new research about upskilling and reskilling. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so that we conducted a study by surveying over 500 HR leaders across the country in companies both big and small and companies in various industries. And we set out to explore how these organizations were ensuring that their employees had the necessary skills to be successful in the future. This included technical skills, digital skills, as well as durable skills like problem solving, leadership, and critical thinking. And the results that we found were fascinating. It showed that not only were these programs good for the employers, they were also good for the employees themselves. It allowed the employees to continue to grow and develop in their careers, as well as allowing the companies to become more agile and also to innovate.
When it comes to the push for skills development, what are some common barriers that first need to be overcome?
Yeah, so first off, these organizations all felt that skill development was critical for them. And 67% of HR leaders mentioned that they were already devoting significant amount of resources to be able to deploy them. And the reason they were doing that so they can actually achieve the productivity gains that they were expecting from the programs, not only for today, but for the long run success of those organizations. And some of the barriers, as you mentioned, do exist, and the leaders identified a number of them. These included things such as lack of time to focus on these type of programs, budget constraints, and also as well as difficulty for employees themselves to be able to utilize these type of learning options. Nearly 40% cited some level of resistance from employees as a reason why these programs were not as successful they hoped they would be. And when you take a step back and look at the data, it does make some sense. Oftentimes, employees don't themselves know what they should be focusing on and what skills they need to develop most in their career. So with the lack of this information, it's not surprising there'd also be a lack of enthusiasm.
So how can organizations successfully offer up skilling and reskilling programs?
Well, above all, I encourage employees to take whatever advantage they can of whatever programs that exist. That they should do regardless. The employers there can do a few things to make it more likely that this is going to happen. One is make sure that you align your upskilling and reskilling strategies to achieve your most important business goals. Right, and this should include updating your policies that support the employees themselves, such as flexible work policies, payment for learning and development, as well as position transitions around there. Secondly, I always ask employers to focus on engagement and encouragement rather than mandating learning for their employees. I often find it, no one really likes to be told what to do, but if you can show them benefit and how to get there, people will jump on it automatically. Third, I always ask employers to ensure that you personalize the learning options for employees. Give them a variety of different options so they can pick and choose what's going to work best for them and use data to help them make that choice of what's going to work best. And these type of programs could be wide and wide, very widespread, from apprenticeships to mentorships to peer coaching to, of course, formalized learning programs such as universities and other types of learning that exist within the companies themselves.
I like the idea of personalizing skill sets for each of the employees rather than assuming one size fits all. Thank you so much for these helpful tips. And to our viewers, you can find out more by going to phoenix.edu/workforce solutions.